live cast. This one's going to be a former player of Adroit. It's going to be Mac here. He's going to watch the TA. So again, we're going to watch the first perspective, just kind of see what he's doing in terms of the camera work and see that his body block is on point. Notice that his mouse is right next to it, right? So this is not a edge panner. It's going to be more of a keyboard in terms of movement. Oh, he is an edge panner as well. Interesting. Okay. So he pushed that through. I think he's a middle mouse button then. Just the way he had it, because the mouse is like literally right here as he was just doing the body block. But nonetheless, he's getting out last hit here, which is actually really unfortunate here. TA is definitely one of those guys where you kind of want to start strong and just get a lot of... Ooh, nice little torrent there. Because you want to start strong. Like, TA is definitely one of those types that just kind of falls off. So you want to just push it as fast as possible. You want to take the lead and just dominate here. But he's level 2, as well as the Kunkka. Fighting for that last hit. Alright, so 3 last hits versus 7 and 1. And just to put a little perspective into this... Oh, it's Raven. Raven is here. He's the AM. So he's got a little bit of a competition, so to speak. Hang on. We don't need to see the skin. What we do need to see is the fact that Mac is a rank 19. Raven, on the other hand, is rank 26. These guys are neck and neck. Both very, very strong players. We'll keep it on TA. He's buying actually more tangos. Raven draws first blood, which is never a good sign, especially when you're mid and trying to just kind of force it. Ooh, the torrent. The Tidebringer does a lot of work. The torrent was a little off the mark though, but he's trading neck and neck. But 13 and 1. My gosh, this Kunkka is actually quite good. Hang on, let me see. This Kunkka is somebody, no? He's just ranked immortal 219, but he's doing all right. I mean, 10 and 0 versus 14 and 1, not like a huge advantage, but getting those edges is pretty important. I mean, he's level 2 refractor and shield, so he has a slight advantage. Did you see that? He clicked on the Kunkka right there, made sure to see what sort of items is coming, and he'll probably click on it again after. And this is why first person view is quite important here. Because you get to see exactly when he's looking for this. He's getting a couple shots in. Does it the bottle. Nice deny there. Alright. And this is when TA starts to get strong. Or he can be. I assumed he would. I mean, he has a tango. He has a decent amount of regen. But Kunkka, I think, went out to go stack. Notice that he's gone for 255. So you have a little bit of an opening. So you got some free last hits. Kunkka's probably back. Can't verify, but it looks... I mean, the timing was there for him to stack, and it looked like... I thought I saw something here, so... Still, Kunkka's in the lead. In terms of last hits, he's going to just deny. Good. Oh, he traded for the deny. I hear the torrent. Okay. Looked like Mac didn't hear that as well, but you don't have as great of headphones as I do, apparently. Deny. Nope. Last hits. Trading shots. They're all very low. He's got to be super careful. 22 versus 26 to 3. It's kind of neck and neck. Definitely a lead to the Kunkka here. Alright. Body block again. Yeah, you see how the camera is like slowly moving? This is definitely... I think it's a middle mouse button. Again, I don't play this style, so I'm not 100% sure. I do edge panning, and I don't do mid, so my body blocks aren't perfect. But I definitely can spam it. Oh, he's trying to go for the body block. Or the DD is picked up by the Kunkka. But here comes the Dark Willow. Nice overgrowth there. Excuse me. Salve actually gets canceled. And he's going to trade that. Sorry, the Bramble Maze. Oh, they have the X. And he's going to be waiting in the wings. But Dark Willow actually already has Urn. This just seems super early. At 4 minutes. And he's back with a DD. And yeah, you got to respect that. Still in the lead in terms of last hits, though. I see Mars is going on with Dark Willow and Oracle. Oracle should probably die for this. But again, first 10 minutes, all we care about is what Mac is doing. He bought back a rage buyback. Wow. All right, Kunkka level 6. He's going to go for the X-Torrent boat play. He does have it. The Refractor Shield is actually going to be over. And the Tidebringer as well. And man, he did a lot of work. But I mean, the Refractor Shield actually saved a couple shots from it. The reason being is that Kunkka is more of like the power shotter, right? His attacks do a lot of damage. It's not like fast, quick attacks that can kind of get rid of that shield very quickly. So, another Tango here. And he's going to be picking up a rune. And he's going to go into the jungle to farm this here. Probably back up, maybe stack the Ancients. And the trap just to slow it down, just to make it a little bit easier for him to farm. A little bit of a waste of a mana, in my opinion, but it just kind of helps with the efficiency, I guess. I mean, it's a tiny bit, 15 mana, and plus you have a clarity, so it's not the end of the world. But surprisingly, TA, mana is actually really important. You want to keep that clarity going as long as possible. I think got maximum value. Glyph is going to be committed for this. Kunkka's here. The Torrent was pump faked at least. Oh, he's going to go for this. He doesn't have the Refraction Shield, but one less. He's going to go for this. Oh, the trap. The Fairy Fire is going to be committed. And no. Oh, the Refraction Shield. Oh, he turns it around and he gets it. What an outplay. He was under tower. The TP was coming. And it just, the last possible second, he gets the Refraction Shield. And he gets the kill. So that's going to be the XP as well. So, yeah, you died, but you denied it from the TA. You're going to come back full. I don't even know if the TP was completed in time. So, in terms of XP, I'm not sure if that's going to trade off. But a little bit of money obviously went to the Kunkka there. But Ursa, okay. Talking about draft, this is a very early game lineup. This one is definitely a little bit longer because you have their AM. Could be kind of annoying with that Oracle there to kind of save. But this tiny potential burst, yeah. I mean, you can have the Warlock and the Dark Willow. But the Kunkka is I think he's the most important one of all of them. He needs to make sure that, like, this TA doesn't get snowball out of control. Level 8 at 7 minutes. Having a pretty good time. 47 at 7. I mean, 51 at 5, right? So Kunkka's doing well, don't get me wrong. But he's probably just going in the, yeah, you can kind of see him in the minimap there. Just getting some stacks. And starting to complete those down. Alright, so more farming. Give Rubik a chance to get, you know, some experience here. Kunkka actually scurries him away. It's like, this is mine. Takes the entire creep web. Rubik is also nearby. I'm not sure if it looks like it's a bug, but because we can see people on the minimap, so it seems like there's a little bit of an issue there. But first, Royal Jelly, neutral item. Some pings are happening. They know that they're gone. Kunkka is missing. Warlock needs to play safer. Oracle's there as well. Tiny. And the Kunkka is there. Okay, so now we see him on the minimap. Rubik is completely by himself. Pick up the invis. Why not? Just burst somebody up. Ooh, the Tiny gets so low. And again, he's just kind of looking around. I mean, Ursa's a big boy. This should be easy work. He does have his treads. So his damage is actually pretty high. Kunkka does need to be a little bit careful. And that's kind of why when you're leading, you stack it up. Oh, and it looks like he's just going to take this away. Slightly damaged, but yeah, he should just take that away. But neutral item picked up. Mind you, he did not steal it. I know it's in the enemy jungle, but it's just based on farm. So he's going super deep. Line him up. Make it very easy. And yeah, he's doing some damage. He's going to go Blink first over Desolator. I always feel like Desolator is just the better way to go, especially first item. Oh, he sees the Tiny. He doesn't need to be careful. Refraction Shield just in case. So it's nice to preemptively cast the Refraction Shield. What you want to do is, because that cooldown is so long, is that basically when you fight, and it goes past the cooldown. So if you're playing TA, what you want to do is keep it going, fight, and so that, yeah, the shield will go away eventually, but then you have it up on cooldown again, and it's ready for the fight, in the fight. So if you get 2 Refraction Shields in the fight, it's actually massive. Tiny was looking around. Nice little traps that were queued up for quite some time, slowing him down. And making sure he gets, again, this is what you want. If you're going to farm this, make it as easy as possible. When they run back, they're not even hitting you. So you slow them down, and they're just perfectly lined up for your, what is it? The Psyblades. Traps are being wasted all over the place. I think he hit the wrong button on that one, I believe. I'm pretty sure, oh, the Tiny's still in the jungle. That guy's just farming. Warlock will kind of force the issue here, but 10 minutes. It's funny that he's so deep. Oracle is in the wrong place. Okay, okay. Fate's Edict there, just slowing him down. Make sure that, again, you can't cast any, or you can't attack. So, pretty good there. They do see a stack, though, so they do need to be a little bit careful in terms of picking that up. Because you want to steal as much as you can, right? He's got Blink, and that's a juicy stack. Really well done by the Warlock, who was kind of in position. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. And this is big props to the Warlock there. Making sure that he gets all of it. And protecting it from the Tiny. The Tiny was kind of running around, if you saw that. He was kind of looking for stacks, trying to see what he can steal or maybe even leech from. But the boat is going to be committed, and he's going right onto Ursa. TPs are coming, but he's going to have to... No, yeah, it gets blown up very too quickly. But he's going to stick around, gets a couple shots. Meld Strike as well. But I don't really know. Yeah, he's got to be careful. So this is the thing, is that if you can out-micro people, you don't have the damage, right? Because he doesn't have Desolator. Yes, he has Blink. But I don't know if Blink is the right call, especially against a Kunkka, who can kind of just send you back. Oh, he blinks forward. He really wants Kunkka. I mean, the bow... Oh, he gets so low, and they do end up getting him. Okay, so he can pay dividends with that spell. The nice little golem there connects onto 2. Is on just the tip of that, but they did have him as well. That's a 2 for 1. I mean, yeah, they traded with the Ursa. Pretty good deal so far. But Mac is on point. He should see this Tiny, but he's going for... He's going actually super deep. Oh, the Spear's going to be a little off the mark. They do get Rubik, and they're finding Tiny. Avalanche, Toss. They do get the Mars. The Meld Strike doing some work. He's only level 8, though. The Trap, he blinks forward, and nice play by Mac there. Okay, so this is another quick way to just kind of farm out your Desolator. But, you know, I think this is more of a playstyle thing in terms of Mac being able to outplay people with his mobility and just making sure that he's constantly on you. Because if you're going to try to emulate this, notice that he's farming off of ganks, right? And we're at 12 minutes now, so we can start looking at things in a free perspective. But the blink forward, look at this. He's just blowing them up, right? These two are very, very squishy. He just makes sure he gets it. So he's pushing the lane, and he's getting gone on. Oh, doesn't realize that the sentry's there, the boat, and he's been way too far. So, yeah, that's a bad trade. Mac a little too deep, a little too aggressive. And this is why you need to be careful. He thought that there was no, like, invisibility does not mean invincibility. I can speak. So you do need to be a little bit careful here. Raven, on the other hand, sticking around. He's got the Cursed Crown. He's going to blink away, and it's going to go into the trees. Nice timing on that one, because it's hard to find him. And Dark Willow's still around. He's actually he's trying to harass out the AM, which is crazy. 3-level difference and everything. But Raven has a Battle Fury. TPs are coming. Tiny goes and greets him with a nice little Avalanche Toss combo. Ursa's in position. Has a Spear, but just pushes him back. And yeah, with no tree to kind of latch onto, this is just the great... Oh, he catches him with the Arena, and he's trying to fight him. And Mars is like, actually, this guy does a lot of damage. Just don't toss me. Ursa, on the other hand, will be like, happily will accept that. Dark Willow gets in there, and that's, I believe, his social security number. But he does end up getting that kill and steals it from him. Rage is going to be committed, and they're going to go for Ursa. False Promise is going to be used. And the Spear will connect, but it just throws Kunkka back into a bad position. But really no follow-up, no damage for this. God's Rebuke. Here comes a Dark Willow. He does some damage. TA does end up killing Rubik, so they get this. And so that's the mobility, and he's starting to do some work. Nice little rotation there, and they've gotten 3 for nothing. And they're going to look to focus this, especially with the creep wave coming. And TA should just melt these things, especially with his Blightstone and the fact that, like, TA is just kind of good at taking down towers. Glyph is going to be used. Slow things down. Ursa, on the other hand, does not have a Battle Fury. Little worrying. If we're just talking about net worth alone, Raven. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, this is a 1-on-1 unconditionally. Not to slight this guy, but he's rank 5, 8, 9. There's a difference between him and Raven, right? And there's a reason why Raven is on, you know, a pro team. But it looks like they're going to back up here. Nice little objective. Focused in the sense that, you know, Tiny's down for 20 seconds. They have a little bit of time. They're going to focus it up on Roshan here. And when you've got TA and the Meld Strikes, you make quick work of this guy. Like, look at this guy's, like, armor reduced by 2. The Meld Strike is there as well. So a total of 10 armor going down, and Aegis is picked up, and Mac is starting to get out of control. He's got Blink Desolator at less than 15 minutes. I believe he got it in the middle of that Roshan fight. But this guy's going to start hitting like a truck. Got to be careful. AM has got to look for elsewhere. Trying to find some sort of farm. The spear is going to be a little off the mark. And Mars here, which I can't pronounce his name. And it's going to be hard to kind of lock this guy down. If you're looking at all of these guys, actually, it's going to be very difficult. This is a very good AM game. You don't have that reliable stun to just make sure that you lock him down. Yeah, you have Arena, but he just blinks out of that, right? You've got Golem. You've got the Bramble Maze, Cursed Crown, but you got to time it perfectly. Yeah, this is a really good potential game for Raven here. Bramble Maze, he gets stuck in. Nobody knows the directions on how to get out of that one. Earn? Dark Willow. Ooh, he does get bursted there, but TA just blinks forward. He's going to go at least for Oracle. That's the perfect one. You get that guy down. He doesn't have False Promise. That's perfect. You make sure that you focus this guy. He's like that Dazzle, and he's going to just fix the lanes here. Mars is going a little aggressive. I don't think he needs to be, especially with AM there and TA backing up now. But, I mean, with Aegis there, they're definitely in the driver's seat. Haste is going to be used. Picked up by the Willow. Stolen Bramble Maze, nice. TA here. Trying to get by. Mars. Mars has the Yules as well. Okay. So you can just kind of, instead of, oh, this is the power of the Tiny. And the fact that, like, yeah, he's a position 3, but, I mean, he's got Blink, Phase, and he just kind of runs up on you, bursts you. Oh, but Mars actually goes into the arena. He creates an arena, but he's by himself. And this is where you're like, team, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? Like, seriously. Like, yeah, we've got him. It's a nice 3-man arena, but nobody was there to follow up. Ursa was all the way in the back, has Battle Fury now. TA is there, and is going to continue to farm as well. And it looks like he's going to go BKB. I do agree with that call. There's a decent amount of magic and burst, so they should be fine. Alright. Tiny just sticking around the AM, just creating space, making sure they have that. And mind you, all of the towers from Dire are still up. So the Dire, actually, I mean the Radiant that is. Raven obviously doing a very good job in the sense that, like, you have no objectives, but he's still been able to find as much farm as possible. He almost has Manta. This guy, Raven, knows how to farm, man. Very consistent, knows how to do it. And puts his team on his back. Yules on the Kunkka, Blink Toss. Golem's going to be committed, and they're going to go the spear back to Kunkka, but he's actually very tanky right now. He's got more than 2,000 life. He's got a Vessel. Mars is kind of squishy, and he didn't go the traditional style, right? I mean, yeah, he went Yules first, so he's only got 1,500 life, which is not a lot in this stage, but, I mean, I guess, okay, the Arena, they do have False Promise, but Rubik is fighting in it, and he lifts up the Mars. The Torrent is going to be used, the Vessel as well. He's going to back up now, but it looks like Mac, no. He's not going to fully commit. He just throws out a trap just to kind of give a little bit of vision, see what's up there. Ursa gets pushed back. Glyph's going to be used on both sides, keeping the creep wave alive, but it looks like it's going to be an all-out retreat, as Raven is who thought he was by himself, but he gets bursted quite a lot to counterspell, but not really anything to counterspell, but he blinks away. He should be fine unless he mistakenly gets jumped on again. And that Golem, yeah, expires here. Kunkka is on the approach. Cursed Crown. Spear that was stolen is it's gonna miss. TA, what does he do? Okay, so what I like about this is the fact that, yes, there's some fighting going on, but he's not getting baited into these fights. He's been constantly fixing the lanes, right? He's trying to get farm. This is what you do. You look at where all the lanes are, right? This is the creep wave. This is the creep wave. And this is the creep wave, right? And TA had just pushed that one. So the reason for this is that you fix the lanes and you make it somewhat difficult for them to make any sort of approach onto you. Like, AM wants to be split pushing. This is providing space for him to then farm into this jungle and to go back, right? Because somebody needs to deal with this. Now he can actually cut the wave, forcing more space, you know, or more rotations for his team, or for the enemy team to kind of react to him. So he's buying himself time, which is at the end of the day. Age is going to expire. They didn't get too much out of it, which is a little worrying. I thought they could have gotten maybe another tower or two. Burst in, but the refraction shield. Boat is going to be used. It will actually miss. False Promise is on the Kunkka, though, and that's a problem. And he blinks forward, and Mac is going to go. False Promise, there we go. That's going to be used now. The X on the TA back, and he's trying to just kind of fight under it, but I think he explodes. Yes, he pops like a pimple. The Basher is there on the Ursa, but what does Raven do? He just continues to split push, realizing that even with the Kunkka down, and by the time he TP'd in, it would have been very late. So they got 2 so far. BKB, that's going to be the first charge, and Tiny taking a lot of damage. He's trying to juke through, but the toss, but it's on the Ursa. And with that Meld Strike, Mac just making quick work of him. This T2 is looking to go down, but he doesn't have the creeps, and they've done a decent amount of work. The TP, the Yules, I think he messed up. I think he clicked Yules on himself, because there's no way that AM gets it, but he gets blown up. The Ursa and the Mars, that was plenty. So the Yules, the self-Yules, kept himself alive, waited for enough time for the Ursa to TP in, and that is... Wow, what is this Oracle doing? Okay, he's literally throwing at that point. Oh, the Rubik was nearby. The Scepter is not going to be enough. I mean, especially when you can back up. But the Kunkka is here. And Dark Willow does a surprising amount of magic damage. So you got to be super careful. He's got the Yules, Meld Strike, and they've got the Vessel as well. The X and the Torrent and the Boat, but it's all on Mac, and they do combo it. And he gets tossed back by Tiny, who just comes in. The trap is there. The Golem's going to be committed. Nice 2-man Golem. But he's going to focus on the Tiny. That's probably the one you want. He gets stuck in the Bramble Maze, but the Golem is the one bashing. He should get... Oh, no, he doesn't. Dark Willow with the what? What is that thing? He enters the Shadow Realm, and he ends up securing that kill. So this Dark Willow is playing a little bit like Crit, in the sense that a very respectable magic damage position 4. People don't always expect it. The amount of burst they have. And this is actually, as weird as this sounds, and as long as this hero's been out, I have never played Dark Willow. I've never played Grimstroke. I've never played Snapfire. I don't know what it is. Those 3 heroes do nothing for me. Maybe I'm a classicist. Blink found AM, and he mantas the first one, and he blinks away. And yeah, they're gonna focus on this T2 bottom. Ursa's continuing to farm. I feel like it'd be better if he was just kind of sticking with the team. I don't think that there's any way that this team can deal with this team at this point. Tiny's that type where he wants that gank and he goes in and out. But if you're just 5-man deathballing it, it makes it very difficult for Radiant to get anything going. Almost has Abyssal. Here comes the first pause of the day. And TA with the DD is going to be respectable. Does need to be very close. All right, okay. Still pause. Pause in the action. Grove Bow. And I think that this is actually really good on TA, for the record. Just the attack range. It seems silly that like this guy's... His starting attacks are like less than a melee heroes. But he does add up once he gets to the side blades. And then the Grove Bow definitely adds into this. So it makes it a lot easier to play this guy. TA is a fun hero. Falls off in the end. Can be very strong, can snowball games. And I think it's a good hero to learn if you want to learn about, positioning. Super important, because the side blades, needs to connect into more than one creep. You also need to know, cooldown management with the refraction. Knowing when to use it and to do all that. Meld Strike, again, just understanding invisibility, I think is another one. The fact that it farms and it wants to stack, all of these things that you need to know to play this hero well. So it's one of those heroes that, yes, there is a bit of a ceiling in terms of playing him, and you have to know some of the basics of Dota, but this hero can be strong, as we're seeing right here. I mean, top of the net worth lead, just literally controlling the game and just forcing Raven to literally have no room. This Radiant team is struggling to find any sort of space, but he falls off in the end. He's going to get to a point where this AM's just going to blow him up, and there's really nothing he can do to fight against him. So timing is another thing. When to push, when to do all these things. So he's teaching you good things, good habits, and things that you should learn as you progress in your Dota career. So if you're ever looking to find or to play a hero or to learn one, I suggest TA. You learn this hero, do it in bot games so you understand how to play it. Also check out Waga Gaming. What was that? Spear. But check out Waga Gaming, because I think that he has some good videos in terms of how you play him. And some things are kind of old in the sense that, like the stacking, like the maps have changed and stuff like that. But the play style is still there. I highly recommend that video. That was one of the videos that taught me how to play TA. I thought it was very helpful. Like when you're learning to play any new heroes, watch what pros do. And I'm not saying that their itemization is perfect and all that, but it's more of a different style, right? They're doing things that are a little bit more efficient than you. So there's a lot you can learn. I think that that's the biggest thing, is that, yeah, you can try to figure things out on yourself, but it's also like trying to learn a brand new skill or subject, history or whatever, by yourself and by reading, right? You can do it that way. Yeah, that makes sense. But you can do it much quicker if you had just had like a teacher or a professor that understand what was going on. The Abyssal's here. And they've got him. The Yule's boat is going to be committed. He's going to rage through, but he does get stunned. And actually, Mac took a lot of damage on that one. He's got shield on up. And Tiny gets blown up here. And they're going to look to take the bottom racks. Tiny with no buyback. This is a bit of an issue. But they don't have the creep wave. And they're trying to get the retreats. Here we go. X Torrent. But they found the Ursa. I don't really know if that's the one you really want. I mean, they have backdoor protection, which is kind of slowing things down. Mars gets lifted. Yule's up on the AM. Manta's going to be used, and BKB is now going to be committed. He's focusing on the Kunkka, but it looks like they've only gotten the AM, which is pretty much all you need. 70 seconds, no buyback here. And they've gotten the bottom racks, and they'll take that down quickly, especially with the creeps now here. Spear back into Kunkka. They found him. And Mac is going to focusing on God's Rebuke, pushes him back even further. The Torrent is going to connect on the two, though. And they have the Fate's Edict. He gets Yules'd again, and he's got nowhere to go. The Spear's going to be a little off the mark, but they do get Kunkka. And with AM down as well, they're gonna focus their attention on the mid T, the racks, T3, Blink. Oh, they get the Ursa, which is nice. They have a nice amount of burst. But they pay off. They trade with the Rubik, which is a pretty good trade at the end of the day. And a buyback now from Rubik. And it looks like there's going to be a retreat now, especially with 20 seconds left on that AM. Yeah, and Oracle and Tiny. Like, this is the potential burst is just so high. You got to be careful. He doesn't actually get in the smoke himself. Oracle's sticking around. They do have the scan, and they did scan somebody there. Tiny's in the vicinity. FaZe, he's going to be doing a chase. He knows that he's going to go right here, right? So somebody's going to be in perspective. Oh, he melds. He's trying to bait him out. Mac. No. All right. I thought it was like the HY play. Oh, but instead he finds Oracle. Fate's Edict slows him down. No melee attacks there. He's going to back up. The Bramble Mage stopping him. And the ult from Dark Willow pushing him back. Yes, it's doing damage, but it looks like he's kind of stuck by himself. No, he gets the Yules on AM, who's going to blink forward. And yeah, Dark Willow gets mana voided in the face, and he does die in the end. But that seemed a little risky there. Okay, Arena's Spear does connect. They've got Counterspell. They're trying to burst him down. The Torrent is there. It's going to be doesn't really matter because the BKB, and that's how you deal with this. Is that the perfect timing with the Yule's Arena Spear just doing work. Oh, the Stolen Spear pushes him back, but doesn't connect onto anything. Oracle's by himself. He's get trapped. He's going to try to TP away, but no, the Abyssal. And Ursa comes out of nowhere, and what do? Perfect. Perfect play in the sense that we're going to back up here, and we're going to take Roshan, right? Objective, Mud as well, right? It's right next to you. You can burn it down quickly. You've got Aegis Cheese. And it's just a matter of time before they shut this one out. I mean, it's 13K net worth lead. And I feel like Raven right now should not be fighting. As weird as this sounds, I feel like their team is in just a really bad spot where everybody's just too weak. Like, look at this. Oracle, Rubik, these guys are range creeps. Tiny, I mean, yeah, you have Ghost Scepter, but you really can't do much. So these are the types of situations where you shouldn't really be team fighting. What you want to be doing is just split pushing, just providing as much space, just slowing the game down as much as you can, because you need time. You don't have time to farm, and to continue to fight like this, you're fighting an uphill battle. It makes it very difficult. So, blink. The Yule's on the Tiny, the Ghost Scepter, but he's getting stuck on the outside of the arena. Oracle's somehow still alive because he's got the Ghost Scepter, but he should be going. And then Raven is now in position. Ursa is around. He doesn't have any mana, but he's looking to fight. He gets boated in the face. Tiny did go down, and they're looking to fight him right now. The Torrent will connect onto Ursa. They've backed up. Warlock is all the way in the mid lane. He's by himself. The Bramble Maze. Oh, and the Cursed Crown as well. Fate's Edict just slowing things down, but he's getting right-click, which he doesn't want to do. And he can't. He's getting so low. Kunkka is going to try to get healed here. The Ursa, but the Golem's slowing him down. And the Warlock shows up like Kool-Aid. Ghost Scepter, it doesn't really matter. Buyback from Oracle. And now they're going to focus on these T4s here. And they do get to pop the Aegis off of the TA. So they got something. Another buyback coming in. Oracle does a dieback. X up on the Dark Willow. He dodges the Torrent. They self-Yules, which is very nice. Ursa, though, is going a little deep. He does have cheese if he wants to go. And that's kind of why he's being aggressive. He cheeses now. Tries to bait him out. The arena is going to be used. And God's Rebuke is enough. And the Tiny, he gets tossed back and saved. So that's something that the Tiny did. And it looks like he's going to go fight mano-y-mano with the Golem. But no, the Meld Strike's doing work. And he does get blown up in the fountain. But they found Mac. The Torrent will connect. And he should go down here. Raven is looking to fight. Nice little boat there. But it looks like Raven, is he able to get away? He does. He blinks. And the Kunkka is slowly trying to get his way back. Bramble Maze is not enough. And Dark Willow goes down. Raven is looking to fight this. Warlock is all by himself. And a couple more. And yeah, he goes down as well. And it looks like they've gone too deep in terms of the, like a triple kill going the way of Raven. So he's very aggressive, very strong. I mean, yes, it's a buyback, but self-Yules, stolen spear off the mark. He's trying to juke through the trees, but yeah, that's an ultra kill going the way of Raven. So Raven, never say die. And I love the fact that he went Halberd, right? You have Ursa and you have a TA. What do these guys want to do? They just want to right-click you, right? So you notice that it's kind of like a... Okay, so AM has the Manta, so it's like a pseudo-defensive item. So normally, again, I go right-click, you know, what you call it? Offensive item, defensive item. In this case, the Manta is that. There's no reliable stun, so he doesn't need to get BKB. He doesn't need to go, like, hardcore, like Lincoln's or BKB in that sense. What he can do is he can just kind of play around it, and he's got Manta now, and he also has Halberd, which is kind of like a pseudo defensive item in this case, because it deals with the two greatest threats to his life, which are these cores. So he's going to farm here, and it looks like he's taking the lead. He has Mindbreaker if he wants to go, and he puts that in, which is a really smart play. If you're able to silence the TA, I mean, this TA is going to have a rough go at things. I mean, you guys got MKB here. TA, Mac picking up and stealing the tombs. That's what every terrible bad person, you know, in terms of a core should be doing, I guess. That's actually not a good thing. But a little too aggressive on this push here. I mean, I don't think that they're in a terrible position. They're still in the driver's seat, so to speak. But instead of like a race car Lamborghini, they're more into a Pinto at this point. I mean, it's slowed down a little bit in terms of what they want to do. So they do need to be a little bit more careful. I think they lose a couple, like one more team fight. I think this AM, you know, he gets that basher, and then in the, like, BKB. Once he gets these two items, it's pretty much GG, right? So it's a bit of a race here. There's no buyback on him. So Scotty's going to be picked up here. This AM is starting to get scary. But he does not have buyback, so he needs to play perfectly, or, you know, this false promise needs to be on him, making sure that this guy stays alive. Hang on, where's the buyback status? Nothing. He's short on gold. They found the Tiny, trying to make plays. It's difficult. It's difficult at this stage. Tiny, so the first early to mid game is awesome for this guy. Tiny, it's a great time. But you're going to suffer later because they want a team fight, and you're going to just kind of stick around there. Manta's going to be used. The Bramble Maze, the trap, and they found Ursa, and they have him lifted up. They have Mars as well. He's looking to fight this one. AM does need to be careful. The False Promise was on point, so he did save his life here. They need to back up, retreat. You might have to give up Megas in the meantime. Oracle goes down. They've got the X, and they've got the Dark Willow. The Torrent up on Mac, and they have something, and he should go down. I mean, Kunkka and AM doing a lot of work here. They're just going to focus him, and then, okay, they do end up killing him. The Golem is in position. The TP from the Warlock, he gets tossed, and they got Ursa as well. Is this going to be the comeback? I mean, look at this lead. It's dropped down to a 6K, and it's all because of that one terrible fight here, and it just kind of snowballs. He blinks to the low ground, but he should be spotted. The TP, and he does get away. There's not enough. He had cooldown on the lift. So Raven, I mean, they're starting to do it. They're starting to do it. Let's give him credit right here. I mean, he's 611 even from buyback. So Raven really understanding how to just put this team on his back. I mean, he had like a scrubby-ass team. Or, I mean, the Kunkka's all right. Tiny was trying to make plays, difficult to do. But even as a core, there's a lot to learn from this game. Because you're like, oh, my team is shit. My supports get one shot at or whatever. But all you need to do is you need to create space for yourself. You need to buy yourself time. Sometimes you got to play risky. And there was a couple of bad team fights that the AM went into. But look at this. He's completely turned this around. It's a 4K net worth lead, and they're going to start knocking down these T2s. And, I mean, they're very close to high ground at this point, especially with, 25 more seconds on this Ursa. I mean, the only big thing is going to be the next big objective, which is going to be Roshan, which is, unfortunately, for the Radiant, is going to be up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Continue to farm. You have Scotty. We know that he has Basher, but he has buyback, which is way more important. Okay? I think I need to make a checklist of things that you should or should not be doing. And after 25 minutes, I think that you should always have buyback. If it's on cooldown, I get it, buy out, right? But you should always have buyback whenever it's off cooldown. And he does, at this case. He's got over 1,000 gold in terms of surplus, so he can actually spend that 1,000 gold, but no more than that. So you need to be careful. I love the way he's playing, though. Raven is really just picking up the team and just trying to fight through. Like, how many teams would have given up when the mid-racks is taken away? So AM just continue to farm. Oracle has Glimmer. Just to save himself. Oh, and the E-Blade up on the Tiny as well. I think there's a smoke, right? Yeah. They're grouping up for a reason. And they're trying to go in. Alright. They're trying to look for the gank, but Dark Willow and both the Warlock... Okay, everybody's been spotted now, so they'll know something is up here. Do need to be careful with the couriers. They're all in position. Raven is in the top lane. Again, continue to split push. He's got a TP if he wants to go back. At any moment, the couriers will meet and have their tryst in the Roshan pit. Does need to be careful of this one. This will probably get sniped on the way out. I don't think that there's any way that this courier survives. Oh, okay. He's got the heads up play. He can micro. Raven is nearby. Look at this. So he has vision of this because this creep gave vision to the high ground, right? He's realizing that, shit, there's nobody here. And so he's splitting up the enemy team, right? Somebody needs to deal with this, especially with 2 catapults nearby. But this is providing space again. And so Ursa's going to TP away. So now that they have a potential for a 5v4 in this fight, if they can find a pick-off, this would be massive for the Radiant team. Courier dies here. They're in position. They found the Dark Willow. The Avalanche goes through. TA is in position as well. The Arena, they found Tiny. And Mars is going to go through with the Arena. And he gets mana voided. He blows up Mac here. Raven with the outplay. And then, yeah, they thought they were fine. And they're going to look to get Mars as well. And if they get this, Yule's on the Dark Willow. Looking to fight him. He gets a bash. He gets lucky there. There's a double kill going the way of Raven. And they got Mars. And Roshan will be up in 20 seconds. This is perfect for Radiant to get back into this game. What a good fight. What a good play. So this is why I like the subtle things, right? You push this lane here. Somebody had to TP back. Normally I would say, Ursa was like, I got it because of the fact that I'm greedy. I'm just going to take it. But if you take Ursa out of this fight, you can take this fight with a fight without Ursa. I will take that fight any day of the week. 5v4, perfect play by the Radiant team. Just kind of making sure that this is why split pushing is so very important. Oh, he goes in. He blinks in. He's got counterspell. The Abyssal. And yeah, he can't really fight this. Oh, but he trades the Abyssal for Abyssal. He's got Manta, and now he's got no mana. And he blinks away, and yes, he's taking a lot of damage, but he's got actually no mana to continue to fight. This T2 is still somehow alive. And they're going to focus on, especially with only 2 heroes alive, this is going to be a set of racks. I don't think that there's anything that the Dire can do right now. This is like a test, right? Raven was like, all right, I'm going to fight this Ursa. I'm going to see how I do. And Ursa was like, oh shit, he's actually stronger than me. He's gone Super Saiyan. He's been in the jungle for quite some time. And now this guy's actually fatter than me. And he's going to realize that, like, Ursa is like, my window is kind of closing. And they've spotted it out there. Yes, there's a trap here. They're going to take that one out. The courier's somehow still alive because it's hugging this wall. But they need to be careful considering all 5 heroes are back up for the Dire. They're going to smoke here. I don't think that you go for this. There's no way you can fight, especially without a pickoff. I think too many teams right now would be like, oh shit, we have a little bit of time. But they don't realize that once they're full, you cannot be taking that fight. You can't be low going into a team fight 5v5. Smoke on smoke. Nice little arena. They caught all 4. And they're going to go in. And Oracle gets blown up, which is perfect for the false promise. Considering they don't have that. Kunkka's looking to fight this buyback from Oracle. They've got that. Abyssal is going to be used. And they're going to focus on the TA. But the Glimmer is there. I don't think they have vision for this. Counterspell. He blinks away for now. Another buyback from Kunkka. So that's a really nice fight. You force 2 buybacks by the Dire. You back up here. Yeah, your Mars and your TA took a little bit of damage. But you didn't lose anything. If we're looking at net worth, it's 1K going the way of Radiant here, but you've committed 2 buybacks, and now you have a win condition in the sense that you focus on this Oracle. He needs to be blown up because of False Promise. Second thing is, of course, the Kunkka. If he dies, there's no way for him to get back in this game. So 2 key ways to get back into this, and it looks like they're going to back up here. They started it, and the Aeon disc is going to be committed, or it's going to be used here. And the Mars is getting so low, he's going to get blown up by the Mana Void. The nice 2-man or the Torrent there. They got Mac as well, no buyback from Mars. They've had the Yules on the Ursa, who gets pinned to a tree, and the Cliff, he goes down as well. He does have buyback, but this might have been game here. Torrent, and they got Warlock as well. This is going to turn into a Roshan. This is the 3rd one, which is the money one, and has Refresher. And you turn this one up, and my God, Raven has just completely taken the team, put it on his shoulders, and just literally won this game. Ursa has to buy back. Warlock will have to buy back, and just slow things down as much as possible here, especially with Mac down for another 70 seconds. No buyback. This is looking disastrous for the Dire, and the swings on this game are real. 12K, 13K, Roshan, Refresher, Aegis, Cheese. Thank you, ma'am. As AM here, just continue to farm here. Fix the lanes. And make your push. He's got Rapier as well. Raven. Love it. Love it. Yeah, he's the slowest hero on this entire map because he doesn't have boots right now. But when you've got a Rapier, you don't need... This is one of those things where you have those Jordans. You don't want to crease them. You don't want to walk too quickly. But you got all this bling and you're kind of showing it off. You've got your accessories, so to speak. This is what AM is doing here. Look at this. He's got his halberd and his treads in the back pocket. I mean, when you've got Aegis and Divine Rapier, you can push those other shitty items away, so to speak. AM here is going to make quick work of this. But I don't know if you want to go megas. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's very close. I think you need to take what you can. They're going to take the mid-racks here, and they're going to blink to the bottom lane. Curse Crown is going to be committed. That mid-rack should be used, or sorry, should be killed there. Blink. They got a nice 4-man arena again, and it looks like they're going to fight this one, but he looks like he's by himself. The False Promise is going to be used on Rubik, but the BKB is going to be committed on Mac. He's going to look to go. The boat is going to be used. The Yule Saw and the Mars. He's flying up in the air. Ravens continue to fight, and he blinks forward. He goes right for Mac. He knows the target that he wants. He's starting to do work. The Torrent, I heard the cheese, and that's going to be committed. Tiny dies. He's going to buy back here, but Ursa is also there. The Cursed Crown. Kunkka is going to get slowed down. AM does need to be careful, and it looks like they've turned this around. Aegis is going to be popped here by the AM, and that fight, which looked okay, but when things start to crumble like that, the target priority was a little bit off. Yes, they've killed Mac, and he's down for 76 seconds, but when your entire team is dead, now Tiny as well, and that's a dieback, and Raven is in position. He's got the Rapier. He gets spear back. Oh, does he throw this? He does. He gets killed, and he drops the Rapier. Ursa picks it up. He gladly pushes away the Javelin, and what I thought was going to be a win for the Radiant. They throw the game. Could not have been a worse situation for the, the Radiant team. But that arena was on point. The 4-man arena, that one turned into an absolute disaster. And the fact that now the Rapier is going to be picked up by this Ursa. Oh, how, you know, the ups and downs of SCA Dota, right? And this is why it's fun to watch some of these guys, because at the end of the day, they didn't give up. Buyback's going to be used by Raven, but I don't know if you can 1v5 this right now. Yules, Arena, he's been, the counterspell, he's looking to fight this one. He gets bashed here by the Ursa, and the Manta's there, and he gets blown up, dieback by Raven. He tried to do as much as possible. But, okay. To this point here, this fight obviously was game losing. I mean, that was the tipping point right there, right? Considering that they had such a huge advantage. But the thing is that why is your team grouped up together like that? Let me give it a pause there because you really need to think about this, right? Why is this team sticking together, right? This Oracle and the Rubik should be all the way in the back. People should question even if they're nearby. Like, they should be in the ancient, you know, near the ancients. Like, that's how far back they should be. Because if any of these guys get jumped on, fine. That's fine. And they get focused on, fine. But then you can get into the fight, and Oracle can get the false promise. So this is a huge misplay by the supports here. The Rubik, no reason to be up front. But the fact that, like, all 5 of them were there, and 4 of them got caught in by that awesome, absolutely awesome arena, that was a huge misplay. They had a chance to win this one, and the graphs will prove me so. Like, this is that moment. This is that moment, right? When you have a chance to control the game and to win, and then you do something stupid like that where your positioning is off, and you just completely throw the game, right? Absolutely massive arena, absolutely massive play. And, I mean, yeah, Mac did what he could, but again, you kind of saw him kind of falling off, right? Like, this guy was starting to get that issue. He was becoming that squishy hero. And the fact that, like, all of this team fight, which, to be honest, look at this. Like, why would you ever group up against this lineup, right? The Dark Willow, the Golem, the Arena, all of these things, they just want you to be grouped up, and you're playing to their strength. So this is a huge misplay by the Radiant. You could have won this game if you just positioned properly. Simple as that. And yeah, you died 13 times, and 8 times for the Rubik, but you make a bit of a misplay in terms of positioning, and that's what happens. All right, I hope you like what I do. I'll catch you guys next time. Please give a like and subscribe. And again, I will see you too. I'm not going to be here. No, hang on. Let me think about this. Will I be here tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going to do a cast tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep this consistent. But Thursday and Friday, I'm definitely going to be off. I will not be back till Monday. And even then, just because I actually have real life things going on. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time, tomorrow.